Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sake Revolution. This is America's first sake podcast. I'm your host, John Puma from the Sake Notes, also the administrator at the Internet Sake Discord, as well as the moderator over at Reddit's r/sake community.
And I'm your host, Timothy Sullivan. I'm a sake samurai. I'm the director of education at the Sake Studies Center, as well as the founder of the Urban Sake website. And John and I will always be here tasting and chatting about all things sake and doing our best to make it fun and easy to understand.
Did you say always?
Always.
Always. Did I?
Always
did I
and
sign-
forever.
Did I sign some kind of contract that I missed the fine print on? Wait a minute.
How are you, John?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing great. I have a little bit of wanderlust.
Do you really?
I do. I've been talking so much about going to Japan, and it's been on my mind. How about you?
Me too. Yeah, because I was just there a couple of months ago, and depending on when we hear this, I will either be about to be just there again, or I will have just been there again. Either way, I'm going back.
That's right. So you have another trip in the books for Japan. That's so exciting.
Yeah. I'm going to be visiting Craft Sake Week. That seems like it's going to be a good time. Now, in full disclosure, you have given me some dish on this. You've told me that you've been to this event before, but not as a guest, right? You did it as a vendor.
That's right. I was working with Hakai-san, and I took part in Craft Sake Week a few years ago, and it was really, really fun. It's kind of an outdoor event, so it's very weather dependent, but the lineup that they get for guests and brewers coming through is really exciting, and it changes every day. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I've been looking at the list and trying to plan out which days I want to go, but it sounds like I need to look at the weather report. More importantly.
For sure. Yeah. But your trip to Japan got us thinking about the huge increase in tourism that's been going to Japan.
Yeah.
And you and I have done a few episodes about Japan travel, but we thought that maybe we could even make a series out of it. And we decided to call it Sake Destinations. And of all the sake destinations, we're going to start with the big kahuna, Tokyo.
Yes.
And we thought it might be useful to some of our listeners if we give our recommendations about where to go for sake. And of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but you and I both have a lot of trips under our belt. And I thought it might be fun if we share some of the places we've gone and really enjoyed.
Yeah. And the way I envision this series is it's not only going to be just like, we can do cities, obviously, anywhere in the world, which is great. Tokyo is a big place. We can revisit Tokyo again if we have more things that we want to share. We have, so many different options, and there's a lot of places I'm sure that we're a little chomping at the bit to share with people, but we're going to have to, so that we can still do other episodes. We need to calm it down maybe a little bit. The excitement is a little high on my end.
Yeah. So in future episodes of the Sake Destination series, we're going to talk about other cities off the beaten path that you can visit. But today we're going to focus on Tokyo.
Yes.
And this is so exciting. Everyone goes through Tokyo. And I think that there are so many good sake places. It can be overwhelming. So getting a recommendation is a real leg up. And John, do you want to start with like your restaurant recommendation or your sake bar recommendation?
I'm kick things off with, I'm doing the very first recommendation in this series. This is very exciting for me. This is a place that I have been going to, Michelle and I realized, for over 10 years now. And we were very friendly with the owner there. And the name of the izakaya is Mago Koro Ishii, and it is in Shimbashi. Now, the reason we had originally gone there was Michelle had seen a listing on bento.com. I don't know. I'm not sure if bento.com is still around. It used to be a really good English resource to find izakayas in Tokyo. And there was a note in there about this place, and it said that like you can go there, and there might even be like brewers hanging out, and there's a lot of experimental and unlikely bottles there, and it seemed really exciting. And so that was kind of like the impetus for us going. was like this seemed like a place where industry people may hang out. And so we ended up going over there, and we didn't, to our knowledge, run into any industry people, but it's a pretty unique place. The food's wonderful. His sake selections are wonderful. His ability to pair them is fantastic. But he also, my favorite thing about him is that he is a self-defined omachist. So yeah, yes.
Do you want to define that for our
So
listeners?
I will. So he is a huge proponent of omachi rice in sake.
Mm.
And so it's not like a disproportionate amount, but he does carry a lot of good omachi sakes, and he carries a lot of a wide variety of sake. You can get anything there, but I kind of like that he's gonna have some really fun omachi for me stashed away someplace.
Mm.
That's gonna be a lot of fun for me to drink. And again, I think the food there is magnificent. The staff are extremely friendly. These days, you probably want to get a reservation specifically on like your Thursday and Friday nights. One note is this place is in Shimbashi, and Shimbashi was developed with the understanding that it would be a destination for salarymen to go after work. And the entire neighborhood is kind of based on that idea, which means a lot of it is closed on Saturday and Sunday. And Ishii is no
Oh.
exception to that rule. Yeah.
Mm.
Whenever people message me like, I'm in Shimbashi tonight. Where do I go? And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Is it Saturday where you are? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, ooh, okay. Well, that limits our options a little bit because like half of the places that I recommend in Shimbashi are closed on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah.
So what's it like inside? Is it a small, cramped little sake bar? Or is it large? What's the vibe inside?
It's actually pretty nice inside. It's not like, decadent or anything, but it's got a lot of a lot of wood finish on it. The bar is very nice. It has a nice little angled corner bar, and then a nice assortment of tables that you can put together for large parties and stuff like that. The food is generally traditional izakaya food, sometimes cranked up a little bit in its one minor hiccup. Their menu is not in English.
Mm.
Most of the staff do speak English, and you probably have a translator on your phone that you can scan the menu with, but bear in mind that the menu itself is not in English.
Yes. And we do have an episode, Survival Japanese for
Yes.
Travelers, for sake travelers.
Mhm.
And I just recently re-listened to that episode, and there's a lot of good information there. I'm going to put it in the show notes. So you can bring our Japanese language cheat sheet for sake
Mhm.
along to Ishii, and I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so. And if I didn't express this well enough earlier, one of my favorite things there is that he's really good about not just pairing, but also recommendations. So when
Mm.
you let him know what kind of sake you like, what you've had, what you enjoyed, what do you like about it, he's again, his English is very good, and he's going to find really good stuff for you. He, in addition to being a restaurateur, is also a sake educator. He teaches a sake diploma class that he runs on the premises of the restaurant during times that they're closed.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Great.
And now, Tim, what about you?
Oh, well, I have a sake bar slash restaurant that I
Mhm.
highly recommend. And this is actually a place that I've taken you to,
You
John. So
have.
you've had this experience as well. So the place that I recommend is called Moto Tokyo, and it's in the Tokyo Midtown building. And one of the reasons I love this restaurant, there's many, but one thing I really love is that it is literally across the street from the main Tokyo train station.
Yep.
So everybody, sometime in their travels, passes through Tokyo Station. And I often book my hotel in the area of Tokyo Station. And Moto Tokyo opened a few years back, and it's part of the Moto Empire. There's Gem by Moto. There's a few different Moto sake
Mhm.
bars, but this one has really stolen my heart in a lot of ways. They are in an kind of a mall type building. They're on the
Mhm.
third floor, so you do have to search a bit to find it up to the third floor. And in the front of the bar, they have a standing sake bar,
Mhm.
and then if you want dinner, they have kind of a high end dinner experience behind a sliding door. So the good news is that there are websites online that you can book that are all in English. I think Pocket Concierge is one of them, but
Mhm.
there are these services you can use to book a reservation online. So they take reservations for dinner,
Mhm.
not for the standing bar.
Mhm.
So if you just want to stop by for a drink, it's a wonderful place near Tokyo Station to pop up. And they have a very wide selection of premium and ultra premium sake from a lot of craft makers. And then in the back, if you make a dinner reservation, you can get a wonderful multi course dinner and you can get each course paired. One of the managers is Mariko Taniguchi, and she's been there every time I visited. And she is a wonderful hostess and makes you feel so welcome and does such a good job at pairing each course with a special seasonal selection of sake. So I
Mm.
cannot recommend this place highly enough. Moto Tokyo. Did you enjoy your trip there?
Yes, I did. For the record, I only got the opportunity to enjoy the standing bar, but I enjoy myself a really nice standing bar every now and again. Since you mentioned the reservation situation, I did suggest people make reservations for Ishii, but I did not tell anybody how they might do that. And fortunately, you can make reservations there via their Tabelog site, which we can put in the show notes. Tabelog has done an incredible job the last few years of making nearly everything on their site available in English. So it's a great way to make reservations at so many restaurants and izakayas and sake bars all over Japan. Now we're going to move on to our retail section of the episode. Now, Tim, I'd like you to kick the retail off because yours is a little bit more contemporary.
Yeah. So I think that, you know, when you go to Japan, you want to enjoy sake while you're there at a restaurant. But everyone I know, we did a whole episode on suitcase imports, you know, where
Yes, we did.
you want to bring something back with you. You know, you can put a few bottles in your suitcase and bring something back to share with friends and family. And if you want to buy some bottles retail, finding a liquor shop that has a superior sake selection is worth researching, but we're going to take the hard work out of it and we're going to give you some really amazing recommendations. So, the liquor store that I recommend, or the sake shop that I recommend for buying a few bottles retail, there's a beautiful neighborhood in Tokyo called Ginza.
Hmm.
And Ginza is a bit of a business district, a bit of a nightlife district, and a lot of high end shops. So it's kind of like, you know, Fifth Avenue, and, you know, you're going to see your Gucci, Prada, everything
Yeah.
else. But there is a shopping mall, very high end shopping mall called Ginza 6. And if you go two flights down into the basement at the bottom level of Ginza 6 Mall, they have one of those delicious, amazing food courts where you can get all these high end different types of food. And down there in the basement, they have a sake shop known as Imadaya Ginza 6. And they are open every day of the week from 10:30 a.m. till about 8:30 at night. And this is my one-stop shop for sake as I am heading out of the country. So
Yes, it is.
I usually go like the day before I leave and stock up on a few bottles. And this is such a wonderful place. They have almost everything is in refrigerators,
Mhm.
and they have a beautiful selection of sake cups and glassware as well. And the one thing I want to mention that is especially fantastic about Imadaya is that the staff is so helpful, and almost all of them speak fluent English as
Mhm.
well. So if you go in, and they actually wear little flags on their lapel to tell you what languages they speak. So almost all of them have the little British flag to let you know that they speak English, and you can ask any of them for recommendations, and they're so helpful and so nice. It's a wonderful shop. John, I know you've been there as well. Do you have any experiences there?
I have been there many times. It is, kind of, I'd say since they opened, they've become sort of the gold standard for people in the
Mm.
Eastern Tokyo area that are looking to pick up some, very I don't want to use the term high end, but we'll say highly sought after sakes. They get a lot of really exclusive stuff. And
Hmm.
Tim, as you pointed out, so much of their team is English speaking. And yeah, they're all really helpful. They all know their sake. They really know. And they deal with, they deal with people coming in there to get sake every day.
Yep.
And that's what they do. And they seem to love it. And they do a great job of making recommendations.
Yeah. And one last thing I want to mention about Imadaya is that if you do go in there to the Ginza 6 location, they have a counter. And at the end of the counter, they almost always have sake available for sampling. So if you have some time and you have a few extra minutes, please ask them about if there's anything to sample. It's a reasonable fee by the
Mhm.
glass.
Right.
And they usually have 6 to 12 bottles behind the counter to just pour and give tastes. And they also do some classes as well. I'm not sure of the schedule on that. I've never kind of lined that up, but I think that it's a super reliable place. The sakes do lean more towards the high end, so you're absolutely right. This is not a budget place for
No, no,
searching
it's
for
not.
sake, but the selection is unique in that they get a lot of very sought after brands,
Mhm.
and they have a lot of seasonal releases as well. So if you're looking for a special gift, they have a lot of reserve bottles. And
Mhm.
I think you could literally go in with a blindfold on and just pull bottles off the shelf and just come home happy.
You're gonna have a great time.
So, John, I want to pass it off to you now and get
Mhm.
your Tokyo recommendation for a really good sake retail shop. So, what do you recommend?
All right. So here's the thing. When I saw that you picked Imadi, I was like, well, I can't go toe to toe with you on Imadi because it's in it's in like, central Eastern Tokyo. It's immaculately positioned. It is ultra convenient. Everything they have is great. The entire test staff speaks English. What am I going to do? So I decided to go the opposite direction. And
Mm,
I found a place that is a little off the beaten path, but is very, very famous and has been around for a very, very long time. It is called Aji no Machidaya. Oftentimes it is just called, people just refer to it as like sake shop Machidaya or just Machidaya. It is very famous. Again, it's been around for a very long time. And one of the things that they do a lot of is they supply a lot of izakayas and restaurants. A lot of places that you'll go to in Tokyo, they'll get their stuff from there. Right? It's really nice. But one other thing that's really fun about them is that they have the most one cups I've ever seen in one place.
hmm.
They advertise selling over 100 different types of one cups. I didn't know there were 100 different types of one cups, Tim, but they do. They have like Nama one cups. I was like, wait, what? Unpasteurized one cups? Where is this coming from? And a lot of their one cup selections are local to Tokyo or the vicinity, greater Tokyo vicinity as well, which is pretty cool. So the only trick is that it is a little bit out there. It is, if you are you Tim, are you familiar with like Nakano
Yes,
Broadway?
yes, yes,
So it's like
yes.
a stop or two past that,
Yep.
and then you have to walk for about 10 minutes or so. But it is so worth it. And it just like when you get there, you're just like, oh my God, I am in sake heaven. It
Mm,
feels so it's a family owned business. It feels very like deep Tokyo. It feels very like rich with history. And again, their sake selections are insane. They have so much great stuff there. And a lot of it's going to be a little bit less well known. You're probably not going to get Gcon at Machidaya. You will probably be able to get Gcon at Imadaya.
hmm.
Yeah. They're open from 10 to 6:30 Wednesday through Monday. And they're closed on Tuesdays.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well,
exclusive bottles, really fun one cups, great place.
I will have you know, I have gone there before myself.
Aha. Have you?
Yes, and
Nice.
I went to this place before Google Maps.
That's
And
great.
I found it. But
Nice.
if anyone is a little bit older and they understand getting around Tokyo before Google Maps was a different thing than it is now.
It was very much a different thing. Now, I have been to Tokyo pre Google Maps. I did not go to Machidaya pre Google Maps, though.
Yeah.
I definitely I had a little help in my pocket.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really fun place. And I
Yeah.
think that as an experience, it's something that any sake lover should try to get to do at some point.
Yeah, and the one cups are fantastic to bring back as gifts for people.
Hmm.
So if you go to Machidaya and grab a few really fun looking one cups, they're going to be super fresh,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the ultimate little omiyage or a little gift to bring back from Japan,
Yeah.
and highly recommended. It is off the beaten path, but if you are looking for a sake adventure, this definitely fills the bill.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm again, a big fan of this place. It is, again, it's kind of far, but I think if you're a sake fan that's visiting Japan, visiting Tokyo, you owe it to yourself to get over there one time. You will not regret it. You're going to have a
Yeah.
blast over there.
So I just want to reiterate again for all our listeners that if you are interested in either of these restaurant or retail recommendations, please visit our show notes at sakerevolution.com. We'll have all the details, pictures, store hours, and Google Map links for you to find these for yourself when you make it to Tokyo.
Great. So Tim, all of this talking about shops and izakayas, I'm getting thirsty. I'm getting a little bit thirsty,
Yes.
and I want to taste some sake myself. So, what do you say we grab some bottles, you and me, different bottles, because I want to keep things interesting, and then we'll talk about them. We'll sit them.
Sounds great.
All right.
So I wanted to go out and pick a bottle to bring on the show
Mhm.
that kind of made me think of my time in Japan and something fresh and seasonal.
Mhm.
So I found a seasonal unpasteurized sake, and let me introduce it to you. So I'm going to be tasting Kaze no Mori, and this is Black Label 807. It's a Junmai Muroka Nama Genshu, and this is from Yucho Shuzo in Nara Prefecture.
Yeah.
And Kaze no Mori is a brand we've had on the show before. It's known as a brewery that produces, maybe a little bit more of a wine-like impression, sometimes a little higher acidity, very juicy
Hmm.
and rich. And this sake uses a local rice, Tsuyu Hakaze, and it's only polished to 80% remaining.
Hmm.
So a lot of sakes get that very fine, super premium polishing, but they are on a kick to use as much of the rice grain as possible to be as sustainable as possible.
Hmm.
So they only mill the rice to 80% remaining, and they use yeast number 7. SMV is 0, acidity is 2.0, and the alcohol percentage is a little high because it's a Genshu, so we're at 17%.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And John, what sake did you pick up to talk about our travel recommendations with?
Sure. So I picked up a bottle of Gikyo Junmai Ginjo Genshu. It is from Yamachu Honke Brewery in Aichi Prefecture. And Tim, this sake comes wrapped in a newspaper. And I am
Oh,
very excited about that. There's something special about getting a Genshu that's wrapped in newspaper. So yeah, no, this is really cool. We got some sports page here. We got some baseball, it looks like. And then they just slap their little information sticker on it on the
mm,
front, which I'm wondering what's going to be under there once I take this wrapping off. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Gikyo's stuff. They sell a handful of different bottles here in the US, and I was happy to get my hands on this one. This, as I mentioned, is a Chunmai Ginjo Genshu using Yamada Nishiki rice, polished down to 60% of its original size. The alcohol percentage has a range here, Tim. It's a 16 to 17%. They're not sure. And it's using yeast number 9,
all
a
right.
classic, if I recall correctly.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's get our bottles open and into the glass.
All right. Get this rubber band off the newspaper.
My sake came with a warning that it may pop the cork open, so I have to open with care here.
Please do. Please don't hurt yourself.
Now, ooh, it did fizz when I
It did
opened it.
fizz.
Yeah,
I expect some fizz from Kazunomori.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pour by the microphone. Let's see if we can get this. All right, all done.
All right. As I unwrap the Gikyo, I can tell you that this newspaper is from August 10th, 2024.
Okay.
I don't know when the sake was bottled necessarily, but that's the newspaper. Oh, actually, I do. The sake was bottled on June 2025, so they keep this newspaper around for a bit.
Hmm.
And well, there is a contemporary label underneath the newspaper. It's a classic Kikyo label. So Tim, we both got our sakes in the
Yeah.
glass. Yours almost exploded on you, but I'm glad it didn't. And
Uh,
what's that aroma got for you there?
yeah. So again, this is the Kaze no Mori, Black Label 807. And the 807, by the way, the 80 refers to the milling rate, and the
Oh,
7 refers to the yeast variety.
ooh, that's
Yeah.
nice. I
So
like that.
yes. So 807 is a combination of the milling rate and the yeast. Now,
Hmm.
when I smell this, there's a lot of tropical fruit. And
Hmm.
the one thing I'm getting in particular that really jumps out to me is pineapple skin. Like, when you peel a
Ooh,
pineapple and you smell that,
yeah.
it smells like pineapple, but it's got a little bark, a little woody note in there too. That's what I'm smelling here. So it's primarily pineapple and some melon, but very rich and something a little intense, woody, barky as well going on.
Woody barky. All right.
Yeah. So I'm going to give this Kazenomori a taste. Okay. Oh, wow. So on the palate,
Uh-huh.
this is a freshly arrived unpasteurized sake. And I felt some little fizz when I opened it.
Hmm.
And you don't see it in the glass, but when you bring it on your palate, there is a prickling sensation. So the carbon dioxide is still there. These unpasteurized sakes are technically still alive and still bubbling away a little bit. And you really get the sensation of the super fresh prickling on the tongue from the carbon dioxide in this. So it's very rare in the States to get a Nama that fresh. So this is
Yeah.
something that just came in to the store I bought it from. So I know I got it fresh off the shelf, and that's delicious. The flavor profile is rich. It's
Hmm.
high in alcohol. We've got 17% here, and it's got a lot of juicy characteristics. Again, kind of pineapple forward, but more fruity, but there is a very lingering aftertaste. So this is keeping up with that wine-like, rich, juicy characteristic that I feel we often get from Kaze no Mori.
Mm. For me, the thing I enjoy the most about Kazunomori is that mouthfeel, that prickling that you were
Mm,
describing. I was like, oh, I
mhm.
wish I had some of that in front of me right now. It's so
Yeah,
good. It's a thing that I've been seeing more breweries do, but I think they do it best.
yeah,
And I think it's really a lot of fun.
yeah. They do it best, but I have to say, to put it in perspective, like Kaze no Mori, this brand is something I go to when I want to show more the avant-garde wine-like direction of
Hmm.
sake versus something clean, crisp, and dry, or more
Hmm.
muted or more ricey. Like this is a style of sake that really has a real point of view. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Nice.
So, John, why don't you take us through your Gikyo?
I will. I will. So this Gikyo, I didn't mention earlier that. So while Gikyo is in Aichi Prefecture, the Yamada Nishiki that's in this glass is actually a product of Hyogo. So a
Mm,
lot of breweries, when they're doing something a little more high end, they'll make sure that they get Hyogo Yamada Nishiki. And in this case, it is grade A Tojo Yamada Nishiki. That's been milled down to 60%. So let's get some aroma going on here. Hmm. I got a little almost pineapple.
are you copying my
I'm
bark?
not copying you. No, no, it's not like skin. No, it's just like, this reminds me of like when I open a container with sliced pineapples in it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's
Mm,
like that.
yeah.
All right, and now the taste. Mm. Ooh, that's nice. It's a really, really pleasant acidity that goes throughout the entire taste. It kind of starts out a little bit more on that John Puma, that melon journey, a little bit of fruitiness, and then And then it doesn't finish that way. It a little bit more rice forward.
Mm.
But it keeps that little acidic zing to it. It's
Mm.
really nice. In my head, I'm like, I like focusing on this and thinking about it when I'm sipping on it. Meanwhile, if I was drinking Cousin Omori, I would just be celebrating the deliciousness in my mouth the entire time.
Mm.
This is something that much more like, ooh, this is interesting. Like, what's going on here? It's a very, very tasty sake.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic as well. I think we both picked sakes that are kind of in the same direction.
Possibly. I think your wine situation is much more uh you used avant-garde, but I think you have a much more modern
Mm.
situation. I
Yeah.
think that this is leaning a touch more on the classic side. It's not like super classic, but it is a little bit more traditional, while yours is a little bit more new and exciting.
Yeah, I just want to mention one last thing about my sake is that, the rice milling at 80%
Mm-hmm.
is very unusual. Like
Mm.
normally for Junmai, it's 70% or less remaining, but they leave the rice grain very whole at 80%. And you would think that would give the sake a very grainy, rice forward taste,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't. The magic and the skill and the craftsmanship really comes in when they take that 80% remaining, lots of fats and proteins still on that grain, and they sculpt it into something that has this pineapple, melon, and a wonderful juicy texture to it. There's also like, apricot notes. So it's a little ripe fruits and just delicious. And you don't get that super ricey taste that you would expect from an 80% milling. So that's speaks to the skill of the brewers, I think.
Now, it's very interesting to me that so you've got something with 80%. Mine is milled down to 60. Yours
Mm.
is very bright and juicy. Mine is a little bit more rice forward, and the
Mm.
characteristics of that Yamato really come through. Also, we're both sitting with 17% alcohol. And you said at yours, you really don't taste the alcohol, right?
Oh, it's strong.
It's
It's
strong.
strong.
You get
It's
that. Okay.
strong on the finish. So there's a
Uh-huh.
lingering finish. I kind of folded that into my idea that this is a wine like sake, longer finish.
Got it.
But the weight is there with the alcohol. And I pick up it more on the finish, the aftertaste.
Mm. I'm aware that it's a heavier, more alcohol forward sake from the moment I start tasting it. And it's not that is not a bad thing. It's what they have constructed. It feels
Mm.
very intentional to me. Really good stuff. So
Yeah.
on that note, Tim, this has been our first excursion.
Yeah.
Yes. How do you think that
So,
went?
I think it went really well.
Good.
It makes me want to go to a sake destination.
Well, that's a sake destination. That's not our Zoom channel or not
Yes,
our Zoom brewery.
exactly. Well, you'll be at a sake destination soon, so let me be jealous of you for a minute.
For a
But
minute.
you'll be back soon, and then it will be my turn again. Well, I just want to take a moment and say thank you to you, John. Nice to taste with you. And I also want to say thanks to all our listeners. Thanks so much for tuning in again today. We really hope you're enjoying our show. Now, if you would like to support Sake Revolution, the best way to show us support is to join our community on Patreon. We're a listener-supported show, and the support we receive from our patrons allows us to always bring you a fun and interesting show about sake. If you would like to join our Patreon, visit patreon.com/sakerevolution to learn more.
And as always, if you would like to reach out to us directly, if you have a sake question that needs answered, if you want to know more about perhaps new places to discover sake, reach out to us at feedback@sakerevolution.com. You can also get at us on Instagram and Facebook. We do respond to those messages as well. And we're looking forward to hearing from you. So, on that note, Tim, please raise some of that Kazano Mori. Remember to keep drinking sake and Kanpai.
Kanpai.